That is what you call overcoming adversity. The Canes came in after not playing for no, not 3 weeks. What am I done? About a week, I think, maybe 2 weeks. Um, and they came away and they were playing the defending Stanley Cup champions, a great organization. Came out and got themselves a win. I got to hand it to Vasilevsky. I think Carolina was the better team all game, and Vasilevsky managed to keep him in, and he got a point for Tampa Bay in this game, which is very valuable if you're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan or, a member of the Tampa Bay Lightning. But for me, this game was an example of a team coming in, facing adversity, and overcoming it. You're missing your best defenseman, Jacob Slavin, your number one right winger in, no, left winger, sorry, Teravainen's a left winger, your left winger in Teravainen, and you're missing two key pieces to me. I think people underrate what a character in the locker room does in Warren Fogle and Marty Party. So you're having you're missing a lot of key pieces. You haven't played in a while, and I gotta give it a testament to Roddy Brindamore. He came in and he managed to get his boys going. They were playing really well. I thought they had some weak areas where they struggled to get the puck out of the zone, but that can be expected. As Trip Tracy pointed out, he kept rotating the guys that are getting their shot to break into the NHL. The only good thing to me about Jacob Slavin getting COVID was Jake Bean had a chance to step up. And, so like for the young guys, I actually thought they had some good shifts. They did get hemmed in a little bit. I thought, there were plays they could have done better, but they're AHLers and they're having their first NHL game when the team's missing some of its best players and some of its most important guys in the locker room. So I got it. There's not a lot to say. The Canes just came in, they outplayed them. There were not a lot of goals. I think Carolina for me. The key for Carolina is to not only use their skill, but what I really like about Carolina is they're adding the physical game. Now, the physical game to some people is becoming less and less important. And while I don't think that's necessarily true, I don't know if big hits are becoming as important. For me, intimidation in hockey now is more about just hitting someone whenever they touch the puck. And I saw a lot of that, especially from Jordan Stahl. At first I was one of the people I thought if you're going to name a captain, it should be Jacob Slavin. But you know what? Jordan Stahl, he's not the best player on the team. He's probably like just pure depth chart wise, he's probably the third line center. His contract's a little expensive for him, but he plays like a captain. You saw it missing in that second game against Detroit. And I want to compliment the coaching again because I am insanely biased towards Rod Brindamore. He is, my favorite hockey player of all time. Yada yada yada. I've probably raved about him in half my videos at this point. But the team had a weak game against Detroit, going all the way back to the weak game against Detroit, and they lost to probably the worst team in the NHL, pure roster wise. I would say, a lot of people would put Chicago up there right now. San Jose's played like crap in the past. Now, surprisingly, the Rangers are kind of putting themselves in contention for that. And they came into Nashville. They played a really good game against Nashville, competitive game they won. Now they come in. To me, this is the real test. Tampa Bay Lightning are the defending Stanley Cup champions. Now, granted, there's probably more hangover than usual because of the shitty circumstances. Fuck COVID 19. But there is probably some level of more hangover, but it's Steven Stamkos, it's Nikita Kucherov, it's Victor Hedman, it's the best goalie in the world in Andrei Vasilevsky, in my opinion. I think Andrei Vasilevsky is the best goalie in the world. But tonight, Peter Mrazek was slightly better. Now, I'm not saying Peter Mrazek is the best goalie in the NHL, but Peter Mrazek, if Peter Mrazek and Reimer can play the way they've played in 3 out of 4 games of the season so far, Carolina's in really good shape. I'm gonna knock on wood right now because yeah. I don't mess around with jinxes for my team. Other people's team, fine. But, my team, no. We're not going to mess around with the jinxes here. But I really liked what I've seen from Reimer. I really like what I've seen from Mrazek. I actually think Reimer's the better goalie, but Mrazek is proving me wrong. I love when players I doubt prove me wrong. Don Waddell, I've said it a million times, hated his hiring as Kane's GM. Did an amazing job. I think Ron Francis did a good job. I think Don Waddell has done a slightly better job with the Carolina Hurricanes organization. Vinny Trocheck has been a much needed added piece. So now for the Canes player of the game, for me it came down to really three people. Now I want to give an honorable mention to Svechnikov and Aho, but they just played like themselves. It's unfair to just give it to them all the time. So for me, the Hurricanes player of the game was came down to Peter Mrazek, obviously, Marty Necas, and Brett Pesce, surprisingly. I thought Brett Pesce was a standout defenseman in this game. I thought just tonight, he was the best defenseman on the team. I only really saw him mess up one time. He really stepped up to make up for the missing presence of Jacob Slavin. So I was gonna give it to Brett Pesce, and then Marty Necas, obviously, because he got the goal. And then I do want to give a shout out to Andre Vasilevsky. He can't win because, well, he's not a Carolina Hurricane. I got to give it to Peter Mrazek. I think this is the second time in 4 games I've given my personal pick for Kane of the game to a goalie, but the goalies have really stepped up. I mean, I did when I thought of it during the offseason of, maybe I should just pick a player of the game for the Hurricanes when I do these reviews. Did not I've picked up so far 3 out of 4 people I did not think I would be giving a lot of them. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, or you don't have to, but Svechnikov I think is one, which is obvious. He's obviously going to win many. And then Reimer I think won, and Mrazek won, and Niederreiter. So it's nice to see that. And then I want to talk about some more upsetting things, but are not the end of the world. Obviously, Jacob Slavin's hockey game streak ending. It's sad. It's not the end of the world. It sucks that COVID had to do it. Fuck COVID-19. And then you also got Svechnikov's point streak ending. It was a 1-0 game. You run into a goalie that's going to potentially steal a game. That happens. I thought, just all in all, Carolina, after having a long rest and, the risk of, I guess I'm going to say, call it ice rust, uh, getting a little out of shape was there. And no, they came in against the defending Stanley Cup champions with missing players, and they came out and won, and they outplayed them for most of the game. That's the thing. That's the thing I like the most. I wouldn't have been mad if Carolina had lost this game because Carolina was the better team. And in a long season, I know it's a short season, but hockey has a long regular season. Even now, 56 games is a lot. A goalie's going to steal some games from you. You're going to steal some games from your opponent. Wouldn't have been mad if Carolina lost because they were outplaying Tampa throughout the entire game. You just can't be mad at this game. I think this is the kind of games Carolina needs to play in order to win. So that's the Hurricane review. If you guys like the content I'm producing on the channel, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys for the next game. Now, I'm an idiot and I forgot to check, so I'm probably going to break a cardinal rule of YouTube, and I'm going to check when the next game is. So let me just be an idiot here, and sorry, apologies. We'll see you all on Saturday when the Carolina Hurricanes go up against the Dallas Stars. Hey, it's going to be another fun one. I think Dallas has had our number. So hope they can come in and overcome that. So I'll talk to you guys and see you guys on Saturday.